What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me tell you something. Honda has been busy this week. First, we had the new 2026 Passport, and now we're finally seeing fully revealed the all-new 2025 Acura ADX. So to get you up to speed, the ADX is Acura's new entry-level SUV. It sits right underneath the RDX. I made a video about it about a month ago when Acura first put out the teaser images, and in that video, I made a few predictions about the ADX that, for the most part, turned out to be correct. The first one is that the ADX would be heavily based off of the Honda HR-V, and if we compare the two, pretty damn close. Especially from the side angle, you can see these two vehicles are nearly identical. Another thing that's been confirmed is that this is going to have a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with VTEC. I predicted that this was going to have the same engine as the Integra, and so far, it looks like that's correct. And I say so far because Acura isn't putting out official power numbers yet, but we can anticipate it being right around that 200 horsepower mark. Acura has also confirmed that this is getting a CVT transmission, just like I had predicted in the last video I made. It makes sense considering this car is built off of the Honda HR-V and the Integra that also both have CVTs. So we're going to see a lot of similarities to the Acura Integra. This is essentially an Integra SUV. And the new ADX is going to have a similar structure and trim levels as the Integra. So we have three trim levels. We have the ADX Base, the ADX A-Spec, and the ADX A-Spec Advance. Now that top trim level is going to be slightly different from the Integra. The top trim level of the Integra, discounting the Type S, is the A-Spec Tech, but on the ADX they're calling it the A-Spec Advance. So first, let's talk about the base model and what things come standard. So standard on the ADX base is going to be the 10.2-inch Acura Precision Cockpit. That's the digital gauge display right above the steering wheel. It's also going to have standard the 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That was another prediction I made in my last video, that it was going to get the 9-inch screen, so I was correct about that. Also standard is a wireless charger, so that's a great thing to have standard. You don't have to pay any extra for that. And also that ADX base model is going to start somewhere in the mid $30,000 range, and it'll probably max out for the top trim in the low to mid 40s. But with the cost of everything these days, just being able to get a luxury SUV brand new for under $40,000, kind of hard to come by these days. And they're especially trying to lure in younger buyers with that sub $40,000 price tag. Now, some of their language with classification is a little bit interesting. They're calling this a premium compact SUV. Now, technically speaking, the RDX, which is the next biggest SUV in the Acura lineup, the RDX is considered a compact SUV. Cars have been getting bigger these days, and people are kind of arguing over the blurred lines between the different segments because the sizes are getting bigger. But I can tell you the RDX is a significantly bigger car than the ADX. What the ADX really is a subcompact SUV. Now, I know some people are going to try to argue with me on that. This is based off the Honda HR-V. It's identical in size. It has the same wheelbase, but as far as where it sits in the lineup, for all intents and purposes, it is a subcompact SUV. Okay, now back to the trim levels. So stepping up to A-Spec, which is the middle trim. On other Acura models, the A-Spec is basically a sport appearance package, but some of the things that you get when you step up to the A-Spec include a sportier appearance with LED fog lights, gloss black lower exterior trim, gun metallic skid garnishes for the front and rear, larger 19-inch wheels, and of course A-Spec badging. Both A-Spec trim levels are going to come with a panoramic moonroof and ventilated front seats. And then once you step up to the ADX A-Spec Advance, you get gloss black mirrors, Berlina black 19-inch wheels, and other premium things on the interior, including Google built-in, a heated steering wheel, a surround view camera system, and a Bang & Olufsen premium audio system. That Bang & Olufsen system in the ADX A-Spec Advance is going to have 15 speakers. The regular A-Spec and the base model are going to have an 8-speaker system. Also standard across the board for all trims is 5G connectivity and a power tailgate with walkaway close. That first A-Spec trim level adds a flat bottom steering wheel, LED fog lights, USB-C charging in the back seat, a 4-way power adjustable passenger seat, and a cargo cover. And with that A-Spec Advance, you get rain sensing wipers, remote engine start, 5 distinct drive modes, and built-in Alexa. The base ADX gets an 18-inch alloy wheel in a pewter gray metallic color, shark gray 19-inch on the A-Spec, and gloss black 19-inch on the A-Spec Advance. So now that I've gone over the trim levels and the features, let's get into these photos. In the photos Acura put out in their press release, don't really show the vehicle super clearly from every angle, specifically the front. First thing I want to talk about is the headlights, because this kind of surprised me. If you look at the headlights, you can see that signature chicane LED daytime running light that also doubles as the turn signal. But when you look down into the actual headlight housing, you can see that this does not have Acura's signature jewel eye LED headlights. It simply just has one projector beam LED smack in the middle, and it looks like that's it. It doesn't even have the typical Honda 3-element headlight inside of it. This is just like a very bare bones LED. So I'm a little bit surprised by the headlight choice. I feel like they could have just taken the same light off the Integra and stuck it on. That has the jewel eye LED, but I don't know what happened here. They didn't give it to the ADX. Now in these photos, it's a little bit hard to tell, but the front grille is massive. So it's the signature diamond pentagon grille that we see on all the other Acura models, but this one, in terms of the ratio of size of front end to the grille, like the grille on this is massive, but it still falls in line with the rest of the lineup. Now the base model does not have fog lights, but the A-Spec and A-Spec Advance do. Those two upper trims also get the blacked out molding at the bottom, gloss black that is, and other than that, there isn't really a whole lot to say about the front end. And now when I look at it from the side, I just can't help but automatically think of the Honda HR-V. I mean, the shape, the silhouette, the proportions, they're identical. And looking at it like from the rear, even like the curvature of the rear glass, the way it slopes downward and then the tailgate kind of sticks out on a slant in the back, it looks exactly like the Honda HR-V, in the same way that the Integra looks just like the Civic. And another thing about it that's kind of a downgrade from the rest of the Acura lineup is the all-wheel drive system. So there is all-wheel drive available, but it's not Acura's super handling all-wheel drive system. Now let's take a look at the interior. It's identical to the Integra. Digital gauge display, 10.2 inch. You also have the 9-inch touchscreen. A big step up from the Integra, you do get a panoramic moonroof on the two upper trim levels. You cannot get a panel roof on the Integra. And in this photo we're looking at here, I believe this is the A-Spec Advance. It has the white leather, but it has these really nice blue suede inserts. The suede inserts are on the seats, but also on the door panel, and I think they look really good. I think that's my favorite part of the design of the interior. The red interior looks really good too. It has black suede accents instead of the blue. You can see on this photo, there's 2 memory settings for the driver, and you can see the speaker grille integrated into the door panel for the Bang & Olufsen audio system. And we can see in the back seat 2 air vents and 2 USB-C ports. So that is all we know so far. We're not going to get the pricing until later, until closer to launch date, which is going to be sometime in early 2025. But if you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next. And be sure to follow @Optical Automotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook.